Good afternoon. This is me, Sarah Gabor, live on the Most Popular channel. I am currently arriving on the set of the popular series, Constagram. It's the highest-rated dorama of this year. Broadcasting into the microphone was the petite blonde. Admittedly, I doubted the success of this series at first, and that was my mistake. After the premiere, the series rating reached 17%, and then an unattainable 28%. This is the highest-rated dorama of this year. Rumor has it that this series was able to achieve such success due to the hard work of the author of the novel and the skill of the director. The lead role is played by the enviable handsome man and actor, Liam Soo-chan. Many argue that the series is popular because of him. "And where's he gone again, huh? Where's that Liam gone?" shouted the director. "Mr. Director, I apologize. Unfortunately, Liam just collapsed and was put on an IV," narrated Mike. "Damn it, again! Why is he such a wuss?" screamed the director and hit Mike over the head with a coiled-up script. "I don't think Liam's a wuss. He loves sports. Maybe he overtrains. You've seen how strong his muscles are." The set staff whispered amongst themselves. "I realize he's tired, but we don't have much time. We only have one last episode left to shoot." The director continued to rage. "Please excuse me, Mr. Director. Liam promised he would cover the expenses at the barbecue restaurant. He's paying for our dinner tonight. We'll order the prime beef with you," promised Mike. "Okay, we all make mistakes. Nothing to be angry about here," the director said calmly. He was already imagining eating prime beef meat. Liam returned to the set. After resting, his face had a healthy color again. His face is starting to shine like the sun even after a normal rest. Now I understand why his name appears in the New York Times magazine every day, thought to himself Mike. "Mr. Director, please forgive me for causing delays," said Liam, walking up to the director. "Oh, well, anything can happen. Well, since you're feeling fine, let's continue our shoot," replied the director. "Liam, are you all right? I heard that you fainted recently. I know this sort of thing has happened to you before. You should be more careful," said Jennifer, who walked over. "I guess it's because I've been working hard this week. That's okay. All that's left is to shoot the last episode. And work is work, you know." Liam replied with a smile. "I never realized you needed money. I've been told you come from a wealthy family," Jennifer remarked. Liam replied to her that his father was rich, but he wasn't. "By the way, you lost a lot of weight during the filming of this show. You should eat more." Liam decided to change the topic of conversation. "Okay, quick everyone back to their seats. This is our final episode. If we finish this quickly, we're going to go to a barbecue," shouted the director. Liam and Jennifer went to bed playing a couple in love. "Look at each other with loving looks and then touch each other's face," shouted the director. "Well done. And now a kiss. Great." "Somehow I think Liam's going to have even more obsessive groupies after this scene," mumbled Mike. "That's unlikely, since we all know he hates women and is bad with animals," murmured Liam's bodyguard, Lewis. "You guys are really good. I want to congratulate us all on finishing filming. Now let's head to the restaurant," shouted the joyful director. The crew came up to Liam and started asking for his autograph. "Get a car over here, quick," ordered Liam to his assistant Mike. Liam paid for the barbecue restaurant and headed home. Paying for food and not eating it, that's kind of a bummer. Would have eaten at least a little bit of it. "You know how great the steaks are at this restaurant," Lewis remarked. "Do you know you can get fat from such delicacies? And you must know how hard it is to keep your figure. By the way, how did I look after I fainted? Unfortunately, my disease is progressing by the day," Liam complained. Liam's narcolepsy came on quite suddenly. The tests showed that he had a sleep disorder. Since this disease cannot be cured, the doctors recommended Liam not to overwork. He was also forbidden to smoke, drink alcoholic beverages. Near Liam should constantly be a person who can quickly give him help. "It's been 5 years since I had this disease, and it's getting harder and harder to hide it every day," said Liam. "Don't worry, no one knows anything about your disease yet. You look quite healthy," replied Lewis. "All I have to do is stay home and train. I can't even drive myself," said Liam in a sad voice. By the way, there was a recent Instagram post about you. Remember when you were on the subway with your manager and a fan recognized you? She posted the news that you like to take public transportation. Narrated Mike. Then they said that route was full the next day. Even now, any guy in a black mask and cap is mistaken for you. By the way, you're going to go to meet your family today, aren't you? Lewis asked Liam. Liam went every second Tuesday of the month to meet his family. The house Liam's family now lived in was built by his aunt Sophia Hoding. She was an artist and collector of antique furniture. Sophia had built the house next to the mountain to develop her painting skills. "Maria, make tea. My nephew Liam should be here soon. He should be done filming by now," said Sophia to her housekeeper Maria. "Here I am." Liam walked into the room. He was immediately approached by his relatives. "Sorry, I'm a bit tired after filming today, so after tea I'm going straight to bed," said Liam to his relatives. "Brother, thank you so much for buying me a car," exclaimed Marcus. After Liam's parents died, his aunt and uncle took the boy into their family. They treated him like their own son. They continued to love him even after their own child, Marcus, was born. Speaking of which, Liam, my friend's son is getting married this week. They've only known each other for 6 months, and they already want to get married. And then there's my acquaintance's son, also talking about getting married. They've only known each other for 3 months. Unexpectedly, Sophia told me. And that's not all. I have many friends whose children have decided to get married. Do you really want to enjoy your youth and only get married when you get wrinkles and gray hair? Do you want to retire when your kids finish 1st grade? Here, look at this girl. Do you know who that is? Sophia held out a picture of her acquaintance's daughter to her nephew. Yes, I remember this girl. Her name is Martina Sonnebert, replied Liam. Yes, you're right. She is the daughter of the director of the hospital at Sonram University Hospital. This girl is a year younger than you, and she just recently graduated from the university. She is now in her 4th year of residency in neurosurgery. Narrated Sophia. You don't have to explain anything to me right now. I was friends with this girl when I was a kid. I remember her perfectly, said Liam, looking at Martina's picture. She had become an adult and had changed a lot in appearance. From a very young age, Martina had dreamed of becoming a doctor. She often played doctor and patient with Liam. Despite all the whims of the boy, Martina tried with all her might to cure him of fictitious diseases. Okay, if you remember her, I don't have the need to explain it to you at length. I think you should meet her, said Sophia. Liam immediately agreed to meet her. Really? Surprised the relatives. Why are you so surprised? Didn't you want me to meet her and for things to work out? Asked Liam. If so, then I should live up to your expectations. Just as the filming of the drama is over, and now I'll have more free time. By the way, did she agree to meet me? I always felt like she didn't like me very much. What makes you think she doesn't like you? Sophia asked, surprised. I think you already agreed on everything. That's why you started this conversation with me. And about the marriage ceremony, I think it's better to have it before I start my next project, said Liam to his aunt. Sophia looked at her nephew in surprise. She was in slight shock as she didn't expect him to agree to the marriage so quickly. As they say, strike while the iron is hot. We need to decide on a wedding venue, and for what it's worth, I have a good feeling about it. Liam said thoughtfully. Liam, you're right. Even if your aunt dies right now, she'll do it with no regrets, Sophia exclaimed. No, Auntie. You should still have a long, long time to see to it that we get married and live happily ever after in wedlock. Organize everything officially and set a place. I'll meet Martina as soon as you agree on a time, Liam promised. Marcus motioned for his brother to put on his disguise and head to the hospital. Drop me off outside the hospital. I'll take it from here, asked Liam. Hello, can I speak to Dr. Martina Sonnebert? Asked Liam into the phone. I'm a patient, Liam Suchin. I have questions about the prescription I was given last time. If she can't see me now, please tell her I'm waiting for her on the 1st floor. Upon arriving in the lobby, Liam noticed that there was a Constagram show on the TV. Apparently, there's a repeat of episode 12 on. Look at me. No matter what angle they shoot me from, I'm beautiful. I also have perfect acting skills. Some people say it's like I was made by the hands of God himself. Liam thought to himself. Plus, they say I have a perfect face that everyone likes, even in the East. Even in my own eyes, I look more than good. Mr. Suhan, it would be more polite of you to come at the appointed time, murmured Martina, who approached. Martina, I didn't come here as a patient, Liam admitted. So you just called into a busy department for no reason and tricked me into calling you as a patient? I'm very busy. Get straight to the point. Why did you call me? Have you been drinking? Martina asked in an irritated voice. No, you know I don't drink. I thought all the women in this country knew that, said Liam and lowered his mask. Apparently I am not a woman, so I don't know about it. I'm sorry. Apparently you didn't come here on urgent business. I have things to do, so I'll be going. Barely containing her irritation, Martina said. Martina, wait, said Liam and grabbed the girl by her robe. What do you want from me? Martina hissed angrily, adjusting her robe. Haven't you gotten a call yet? Asked Liam. What are you even talking about? Martina answered with a question. The phone rang in the girl's hands. It was her father. Yeah, Dad. I went downstairs for a bit. What? Dad, I think we need to discuss this matter with you a little later. I'm busy right now, answered Martina into the phone. Martina irritably pressed the disconnect button. Hey, what are we going to do now? Asked Liam to the girl. You and I look like a couple in love right now, don't you think? Everywhere you look, there's that Liam Sushan guy. I'm so curious to see what his parents look like. I need to figure out what genes made him so handsome. They say his father is a director of a pharmaceutical company. The hospital doctors whispered enthusiastically during lunch. But then again, genes are the ultimate lottery. No one knows what a person will grow up to be, what his appearance will be, who he'll look more like. By the way, Martine, you had a patient come in yesterday. If I remember correctly, his name is Sushan, Isabel remarked, turning to Martine. Probably a namesake. I'll be right back. I need to get some coffee, said Martina, and hurriedly left the dining room. Not only does today suck, but even the coffee sucks, grumbled Martina, looking out the window. Since the morning, the girl's father had insisted that she meet the son of his acquaintance. The son was not only handsome, but perfectly well-mannered and polite. Dad, do you really want me to date the star Liam Suchan? Clarified the girl. Yes. We talked to his parents about it when you were little. It would be nice if you got married. Liam's parents and I are close friends. Daughter, you know that when our hospital was in trouble, Director Sukin helped us out. We've always lived like this, helping each other. And it will be even better if we finally become one family. But if you say you don't want that, I won't insist. I wasn't planning on getting married anytime soon. I want to become a university professor. I don't have time to date and play wedding. And on top of that, I don't feel like marrying such a popular man. Martina muttered. If I marry an actor, and such a famous and well-liked one, my life will be a nightmare. It would become unbearable. Martina remembered the slap she'd gotten years ago because of Liam. Stop pretending like you don't know anything. Liam told me he can't accept my feelings because of you, Venus exclaimed. Liam, even in his high school years, was noted for his beauty, so girls often followed him in droves. Liam told me that you and he have been engaged since you were little, so he won't date other girls. You're the reason I can't be with him. Venus continued to yell, sucking up to him without us knowing, and now you're playing innocent. When did you seduce him already? You're always playing hard to get. After this incident, Martina became the class outcast. Her notebooks were torn, her desk was written on, her food tray was often knocked over. There was no help from the school's anti-violence committee. Her father promised the girl to sort it out completely and asked her not to make a big deal out of it. Months passed, but the bullying never stopped. Martine got used to them and tried to ignore them. In order not to go mad with despair, Martine delved into her studies. She became the best student of the class. The girl did not want to give up. She wanted to succeed and show everyone that they mean nothing to her. Their ridicule is an empty sound. Because of the problems at school, Martina hated Liam. The girl believed that all the problems that arose in her life because of him. After graduating from high school, Martina entered the medical university. She met new friends and lived every day, fully devoting herself to her studies. It was a fairly quiet and peaceful time in her life. One day, 5 years ago, a young boy was admitted to the hospital. He suddenly began to faint. In this young man, Martina recognized her old buddy Liam. Although Martina was an intern, she was given the task of monitoring the patient. It was necessary to record all his actions and reactions after he regained consciousness. It was necessary to check if the patient was having seizures and hallucinations. I was left in this room all alone, and as luck would have it, he's my patient. Of course he's handsome, I can't tell you that. And it's no surprise that he's become a celebrity, Martina thought, looking at Liam. Suddenly, Liam stirred in bed and started pulling off his shirt. Martina pulled out her phone and began to record her patient's actions. Damn, I think he's having a seizure. It feels like he's short of breath. If this keeps up, he's going to faint again, Martina thought fearfully. The girl climbed on top of Liam and began to shake him by the shoulders. She couldn't let him faint again. Suddenly, Liam jumped up sharply on the bed and toppled the girl onto her back. Unable to keep their balance, Martina and Liam fell off the bed onto the floor. Damn, and how come I ended up in such an unsightly situation? He's really heavy. I won't be able to throw him off me, irritatedly thought the girl. When Martina opened her eyes, she realized that she was in a hospital room. The girl jumped up sharply on the bed. Immediately, a severe headache pierced the back of her head. Martina, are you awake? We didn't find any problems on examination. If you're feeling fine, you can go. By the way, there's something I've been meaning to ask you, said Kimberly, peering into the girl's room. Word on the street is that you fell out of bed in an embrace with actor Liam Sunak. The whole hospital is very curious as to what happened between you two. Why did you pass out? Was he too good? Or did you lose your head to his beauty? They say he has a very handsome body, is that true? Some people say he's so handsome that his beauty is very difficult to convey on screen. Martina fell doomedly onto the hospital bed. Would what had happened at school happen again? Walking out of the operating room, Martina faced Liam. Martina, why are you here? Did you really become a doctor? Asked Liam, grabbing the girl by the shoulders. I'm only an intern for now. Why are you here? Martina asked, surprised. She knew that Liam had recently been released from the hospital. Liam demanded of the girl that she give him the video she had made while he was in the hospital. I shot this video for the diagnosis. I already sent it to the professor and deleted it from my phone, Martina exclaimed. You can look at it. There's no video of you on my phone. Martina held out her phone to Liam. Liam took the phone from the girl's hands and began to scrutinize her saved videos. And explain to me what the hell you're doing here, Martina muttered. Martina, I beg you, keep my illness a secret. I don't want my parents to find out I have narcolepsy, asked Liam. Why would I tell your folks about it? I don't even know how to contact them, Martina exclaimed and snatched the phone out of Liam's hands. And why do you say you don't know how to contact my parents? Your father is the director of the hospital. You can get any information you want from him. It's unlikely he'd refuse his daughter, Liam said in surprise. The elevator doors opened. 2 surgeons appeared on the floor. The girl ordered Liam to be quiet. She clamped her hand firmly over his mouth. I see our Martina is a girl with secrets, said Liam, removing the girl's hands from his face. And what do you mean by that? Asked Martina. Why are you hiding the fact that your father is the director of the hospital? You think people will start using you, am I right? And you know, I'll probably use your hospital. You'll have to cooperate with me. Yes, and every time I enter the hospital, you'll have to be responsible for everything and keep it a secret. If I hadn't run into him 5 years ago, things would have turned out differently. Slumping her shoulders, thought to herself Martine, I have no life because of that creep. All my problems are only because of him. I need to resolve this issue and as soon as possible. Martina sank tiredly into a chair. It was the first time she had sat down all day. Dr. Sonneber, you said you had an appointment today. You can go now. We can handle the calls on our own, said Dr. Swan to the girl. Go where? Misunderstood Martina. You said yourself that you have an important appointment today, and you have to be out of the hospital by 5 o'clock tonight. Reminded the girl of Dr. Swan. Martina remembered that Liam had invited her to the restaurant located on the 6th floor of his mother's furniture gallery. You don't like me, do you? I don't want a girl who doesn't like me either. Tell your parents you don't want to marry me. I'll do you the honor of giving me first, said Liam to the girl. Martina agreed to come to the meeting as she really wanted to end it all once and for all. Doing me the honor of turning me down first? Screw him and his honor. I, a person who is going forward, never mind anything but studying, have been pushed into a maelstrom of constant bullying. Annoyed, Martine thought to herself. I mean, he got away with all sorts of problems, and now he's going to use me for his good son cosplay. He has no idea how much he's marred my life during my internship. Our Martina is a little late. It's always like that when you work in a hospital, patients come first. By the way, Liam, have you gotten even more handsome? Martina's mother, Mrs. Sonibert, remarked. It's all because of filming romantic serials. According to the contract, I have to look very decent in public. When I'm at home, I look just like any other ordinary person. There's nothing special about me, replied Liam. This is all so unexpected. I remember years ago you and Martina were very close. What happened then? In the beginning you were friends, then you stopped, and now you're talking about a relationship again, said Mrs. Sonibert. I believe that there should be romance and some dreaminess in a marriage. I want to confess to you that I have liked your daughter since she was a little girl. Even though she's a year younger than me, she took care of me all the time. We got along well, Liam admitted. The words about the friendship between Liam and Martina weren't true. Martina had always said she was going to be a doctor in the future, so she was constantly giving Liam injections and dressings. And if he refused, she ignored him and said she wouldn't play with him anymore. I'm sorry I'm late. There were a lot of patients today. I hope for your understanding, said Martina, walking over to the desk. Liam, Martina must be hungry, so take an order, asked Sophia to her nephew. And how do you like working at the hospital? Do you like treating people? Asked Sophia to Martina. I really like what I do. Already next year I will be a full-fledged specialist. Time flies very fast. I never imagined that one day we would be together with you at a meeting with my parents. Smiling, the girl replied. Liam looked at Martina carefully. It was the first time he had ever seen her in such a good mood. You know, I thought Liam was joking at first when he showed up at the hospital and proposed to me. That day he said we would always be together, said Martina. What is she talking about? Thought Liam in surprise. Hey, what kind of proposal? I just came to your hospital to see you, resented Liam. Apparently our Liam is shy. It's all probably because he's never been in a relationship. I hope you can understand him, said Sophia to Martina. Now I can see why he acts like that. It's all because he has absolutely no experience, said Martina with a smile. Since I didn't know that Liam was acting like this because he's never been in a relationship, I misunderstood him. Now that that's cleared up, I see no reason not to marry him. I can't say no to him as he is the dream of all women in our country. I am fortunate enough to be his bride. Martine! Shouted Liam, jumping up from his seat. He had so many things he wanted to say to the girl, but he didn't want to upset his family. Liam, were you so much moved by Martina's words that you jumped up from your seat so abruptly? Sophia asked. Touched? Yeah, I'm pissed off. What is she babbling about? Doesn't she realize that her words can have consequences? Irritated Liam thought. Of course her words touched me to the core. Mimicking a smile, replied his Aunt Liam. That's great! Liam, do you know how afraid I was that you two didn't like each other? I'm really glad you two have such a warm relationship. No matter how much I look for a good match for you, I'm sure you can't find a better one than Martina. Sophia exclaimed. Wait a minute, Auntie. I want to go with Martina, just for a little while. I have something to tell her, said Liam. He didn't understand why Martina was acting like this, so he wanted to talk to the girl about it. Liam, you're the one who asked him to meet us today, but you're acting really weird, Sophia remarked. Yeah, I wanted us all to meet together, but I didn't realize it would be an official meeting, grumbled Liam. Isn't that the same thing? Or did you decide to play a joke on me? Sophia asked her nephew. No, I would never dare do such a thing. I really want to be alone with Martina, and I really, really have something to say to her. You know how much I adore her. She's my first love. Liam, continue to love her as you do now. I remember Martina had a hard time in senior year. She hung pictures of you around her room and got strength from them. For some unknown reason, all those pictures were very shabby, Mrs. Sonneberg exclaimed. And I was just wondering why the pictures were shabby, asked Liam. Martina, on the other hand, glared angrily at her mother. Mrs. Sonneberg suggested that the pictures were shabby because her daughter touched them often. You see, I studied and touched those pictures, gaining extra strength through them. It was only because of that I passed all my exams with top grades, said Martina and smiled cheerfully. She was ashamed of her mother's words. Yep, was getting strength, probably cursing me, Liam guessed. Those pictures really did motivate me. It was only through anger and hatred that I was able to move forward, Martina thought to herself. Excuse me, but Martina and I are leaving, and you two socialize here for a bit longer. It's been a while since we've seen each other, so I want to catch up, said Liam and got up from the table. Yeah, sure, go on a date. We'll hang out here some more and then we'll go too, said Sophia. Thank you for your understanding. And once again, I apologize for my tactlessness. I'll definitely make it up to you next time. Smiling at the audience, said Liam. It was a pleasure to meet you all. I apologize that we're leaving first. We'll definitely see you all again. Martina decided to stall for time for a while. She was intimidated by the look in Liam's eyes. Follow me, ordered Liam as soon as they left the restaurant. Liam led the girl into the living room and motioned for her to take a seat at a vacant table. Are you out of your mind? Why do I ask, though? You're definitely crazy, or you wouldn't have done that, grumbled Liam irritably. I'm not. My mind is as clear as ever. It's more like you're the one who's crazy. You're the one who's been going around since high school telling everyone you're going to marry me, Martine exclaimed. What are you talking about? Surprised Liam. I don't care. Do what you want. I know I'm going to have to get married, but I'd rather be married to a man who isn't career-driven. But so far, there is no such man in sight. Martine replied, I thought your fame wouldn't interfere with my work. I know you have a manager who takes care of you all the time. Professionally, you have everything defined. And if you don't want to marry me, I'll start looking for another man. You have no idea what you're agreeing to. If you marry me, you'll have no privacy. Even our honeymoon will have to be postponed, Liam exclaimed. I don't need a honeymoon since I don't have any vacations. I don't need any privacy either. I don't care about that. We'll have separate rooms since you and I have our own schedules, replied Martina. So you're saying you'll marry me because I fit your future plans? Do you think I would agree to that? Liam asked in a surprised voice. I can help you with treatment for your narcolepsy. Oh, by the way, during the national epidemic, our hospital almost shut down. It was your uncle who helped us out a lot. Our family owes him a debt of gratitude. Martina decided to go with the trump card. Do you have any idea what marriage is all about? Liam hissed through gritted teeth. It can be interpreted in many ways. According to Hegel, it's the building of a relationship, and from a sociological point of view, it's a legal contract, replied Martina. Enough with the bluster. I want to warn you, we're not going to have a pattern marriage. I'm going to give us a perfect married life. I'm talking about a real marriage now, one that shares both body and soul, Liam exclaimed. My goal is a marriage with not only the above, but things you haven't even considered. If you've gotten scared, then run before it's too late. Liam looked intently into the girl's eyes. Of course Martina was scared, but she tried not to show it. Dr. Sonneberg, have you heard? They say Charlie Donovan will be among our patients. Intern Hans Green asked Martina. "So what of it?" misunderstood the girl. "Don't you know him? He's a movie director and screenwriter. A couple of years ago, he made a movie called Zone 7, after which he literally woke up famous." Narrated Hans. He secretly admired Martina. In his eyes, she was always calm and straightforward. Thinking about that psycho keeps me from thinking calmly. That freak, completely out of his mind. Maybe these problems with his head started because of the medications he was prescribed? Or no, they shouldn't lead to schizophrenia. Irritatedly thought the girl. Or maybe it's his twisted tendencies that he's so carefully hiding. If I keep thinking about it, I'm sure I'll go crazy. Am I really going to have to marry a famous man just because of my innocent joke? Liam disappeared after that dinner. My mom said she was going to do the wedding preparations and made a fuss. I only have a couple weeks to make things right and try not to make things worse. Martina heard Dr. Meyer's voice. She had forgotten she was present for the director's examination. "I think you need to cut back on your sports. If there is inflammation in the connective tissues, it might be difficult to treat," said Dr. Meyer. "It's all because of my habit of overloading my body before starting a new project. That's why I came to you specifically. It's not just my trust, but the confidence that you will cure me." Director Charlie Donovan admitted, "It's nice to hear that you trust me so much. But can I trust you with our Dr. Martine Sonneberg for today?" Dr. Meyer asked, and nodded his head toward the girl. "Of course, I've wanted to meet her for a long time," replied the director. "Dr. Sonneberg, this director is going to make a TV series about workers in the medical field. Right now, he is in the script writing stage, so he wants to ask you some questions." Dr. Meyer explained to the girl. Hearing about the TV series and the writing, Martina involuntarily thought of Liam. The director gave off the same aura as Liam. Martina noted to herself that these men were different. Liam more relaxed, and the director had a gentleman and macho type. "Let's get you two changed first. The changing room is over there. Please change into a robe with buttons on the back," asked the girl to the director. "So, are you done with that director yet? They say he's the second son of the head of a major company. He made a movie at a fairly young age and became a success. What do you think of him?" asked the nurses to Martina as she went out into the corridor to get gloves. "I don't know him at all. I can't say anything about it," replied the girl. The nurses were extremely surprised by Martina's answer. It turned out that the director has been periodically dedicating their hospital for a year now. Had Martina never noticed him before? "You get treatments often, don't you?" Martina asked the director. "From you for the first time," the director admitted. "I know you were supposed to have Dr. Meyer take care of you, but he has a lot on his plate today. So we apologize," said Martina. "No, that's not what I meant. I wanted to chat with you personally, Dr. Sonneberg. I wanted to get some advice from you regarding my new series. Dr. Meyer recommended you to me. Don't worry, our communication won't affect your work in any way." Liam had already been working out at the gym for a few hours. He needed to analyze everything he'd talked to Martina about. Exercise was helping Liam get his thoughts in order. Lewis approached Liam and asked him to stop. He was afraid his buddy was going to faint again. "Lewis, find a house for the newlyweds. The place should have good privacy protection. I'm getting married," Liam admitted. "Someone tricked you, didn't they? Or are you out of your mind? How do you fall for something like that? Wait, I get it. It's a marriage of convenience, isn't it? Don't do this, I'm begging you," Lewis exclaimed. "I've decided to marry Martina Sonneberg, and it's non-negotiable," replied Liam. "You mean you've decided to marry your first love?" clarified Lewis. "She was never my first love. I said that for the show. I was told to name my first love, so I said the first name I remembered," explained Liam. "You see, that was a show about relationships. I had to make up a strange love that would touch the hearts of the female viewers. I revealed that no matter how hard I tried to approach Martina, she never took me seriously." "It all adds up. You don't have to lie to me. You said every day that Martina was the only girl in the country who was mean to you. I've heard her name 1,000,000 times out of your mouth," exclaimed Lewis. Tell me honestly, you're being treated for narcolepsy at Sonrim Hospital, aren't you? That's where Martine works, isn't it? Explain to me why you're marrying her. I think you're making a big deal out of it. I'm marrying her because I don't want her to marry someone else. And please bring her to my house tonight, asked Liam to his buddy. Martina was surprised that Liam had sent a car to pick her up. Are you really going to marry Liam? Asked Lewis to the girl. We've talked about it, but I think we need to talk in more detail about it. I can't answer that question clearly yet. There's no final decision yet. Martina replied. And why did you want to meet me? Asked Liam to the girl as soon as she crossed the threshold of his apartment. Because you never once contacted me. It's still unclear to me if we're really getting married or not. What's our plan of action in either situation? Martina asked. We agreed. I will marry you. But I have one condition. We won't announce the wedding. I will choose the house myself. It will be safer that way. You don't want to cancel, do you? Clarified Liam to the girl. No, I thought you were the one who wanted to cancel. I mean, you haven't even mentioned the wedding. There's still a chance to turn things back now. Will you really marry me? Martine asked. She didn't want the wedding to be canceled at the last minute. It would upset her parents. Don't worry about it. I always take responsibility for my words, replied Liam. Well, since you're okay with it, there's no reason for me to give up on the marriage either. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You'll be surrounded by the love and care of your fans without me. Because of the constant work, you won't be bothering me, Martina pointed out. You're kind of boring. It feels like you've had the greatest love experience ever, surprised, Liam remarked. The girl's behavior was perplexing to him. Even though I don't know what the greatest love is, but are there people our age who have never been in a relationship before? Martina asked. And who is that? Who are you talking about now? Asked Liam to the girl. I don't want to talk about that. Let's better decide when we're going to play our wedding. We need to decide this beforehand so that we don't have any problems in preparation later, Martina suggested. I suggest we get married before we start shooting the next picture. They'll start in a month. I have only one reason to marry you. You have to keep it a secret from my family until the day you die that I have narcolepsy, asked Liam. If you tell them about my illness, your comfortable married life will be over. Martina wanted to go to the cafe with her mother, but a message came in from the hospital. Patient Charlie Donovan had been admitted. He was injured while surfing. All the doctors were busy, so Martina was called urgently. Mom, I have to run right away, so forgive me, Martina exclaimed and ran to the nearest bus stop. The patient has a fractured tibia. Only external injuries have been determined so far, but the victim states that he is experiencing dizziness and bouts of nausea. The doctors on duty told Martina, We've put the patient in a cast. Now they're putting him on painkillers. Martina entered the director's room. Seeing the girl, the man greeted her cheerfully. You have a mild concussion, so you may have dizziness and vomiting for several days in a row, so you should have a good rest in the hospital, said Martina to the director. That's not very good. I wanted to do an interview tomorrow. By the way, Dr. Sonibert, you're in your regular clothes today. Do you have an off day? Asked the director. Martina told them that today was her day off. She was called in since the other doctors are busy. I'm sorry because you had to interrupt your day off because of me, exclaimed the director. That's okay. I just came to make sure you were all right. You should get some treatment. The hospital staff can handle that. Maybe you have some questions for me, the girl inquired. I don't have any questions for you. The more I look at you, the more I think you have a very nice face. Maybe you and I can have a talk tomorrow on the first floor of the hospital, suggested the director. Martine agreed. Walking down the hall, the girl noticed that the TV was again broadcasting the series Constagram. In this episode, Liam was kissing some actress. You have to play the kiss like that. I straight up believe in the relationship between them. The girl marveled. I'm sorry, but I just now realized I don't know your phone number, said the director who approached the girl. Liam Sahun is really good at acting, don't you think? I saw you watching their kissing scene, though it looks real, but it's nothing like that. I'd like to point out that among the actors I know, Liam is the best at kissing. If you're interested in this actor, I can tell you a little about him. He starred in one of my shows. I know him. I don't actually want to watch the shows Liam is in. He seems unfamiliar to me on screen, so oddly enough, it makes me uncomfortable. Martina thought to herself. You asked for my number, didn't you? I'll give you my private one. You can contact me whenever you have any questions regarding medicine. As promised, I'll help you with writing the script. Martina dictated her phone number to the director. After saying goodbye to the director, Martina headed for the exit. At the door, she bumped into Liam. What are you doing here? Martina wondered. I want to get you something. By the way, what's your deal with Charlie Donovan? How do you know him? Asked Liam. I don't know him. He's just a patient of mine. So what did you want to get me? Inquired the girl. She wanted to end this conversation as soon as possible. There were too many people in the hospital. Someone might have recognized Liam. Martina didn't want gossip to creep in. Are you saying this director is just a patient of yours? Liam clarified. Martina had to tell him that this patient had been referred to her by another doctor since he didn't have time to deal with him. And why are you all flushed? Did you run? Liam asked, gently taking the girl's face. Don't touch me. What are you going to do if someone sees us together? Exclaimed the girl, and pushed Liam's hands away from her. Oh, sorry, you're right. Let's go somewhere else. If we stay here, we'll definitely be seen. And that shouldn't happen. Come with me. I told you I have something I want to give you, said Liam and led the girl behind him. Liam led Martina to the parking lot. He stopped beside a gray car. I heard once that you have a driver's license. This gift, our marriage will really need it. I can't drive, so you're going to drive. How does it feel? Do you feel like you have your own car? Asked Liam. But I have a car, replied the girl. Then why aren't you driving it? Wondered Liam. Martina answered him that she has no need for a car. Her work is close to home. In addition, her car might embarrass the staff at the hospital. She hasn't finished her residency yet and already has her own car. Still, get in. You can use this car when it's just the two of us, not to commute to work, said Liam, getting into the car. I've already got everything insured, and now we're going to drive to our new nest. When Martina got out of the car, Liam recommended that she cover her face with glasses. It was a good idea to hide faces in places where there was video surveillance. Since I have some free time, I've decided to get us an apartment. I mean, we need a place to meet you. Or did you think we were going to live separately with you? Liam asked the girl. I told you earlier that I want to create a normal married life. I want to have everything that goes on between spouses. That's why we need a place where no one will interfere with us. First, he wanted to use me to avoid marriage, and now he's giving me a car and an apartment. The whole thing makes me feel uncomfortable, Martina thought, looking at the decoration of the apartment. Liam handed the girl a bucket of ice cream. Since Martina was very fond of ice cream, she couldn't refuse the treat. I'm not likely to move here after we get married. I have a small apartment near the hospital. It's convenient because I can run to my patients at any moment, Martina told. You don't seem to understand what marriage is all about. I said I wouldn't meddle in your personal life, but I would never say I would neglect our marriage. A small apartment near the hospital is fine, but if you're going to stay in it, I'm in it with you. The two of us, we will live together after we are married. I'll fulfill the duties of husband and you the duties of wife. We'll build a wonderful married life with you. Huh, imagine, I think she was scared after all. Liam boasted with a loud laugh. Mike and Louis looked at him in surprise. I still can't believe she got scared. She pretended like everything was fine until the last minute. When I think back to our conversation, I can't help but laugh. It brings tears to my eyes. It was the first time I'd ever seen her like that. I even thought she was going to cry a little more. The situation was out of her control after all. You're acting like a fool. You're like a little boy teasing a girl he likes. Admit it already, you haven't been yourself lately, exclaimed Louis. Maybe, but it's still been extremely fun, said Liam and laughed again. Hey, we're here now. Come on out. And I'm begging you, when you get out of the car, don't laugh like that. You need to watch your image. Right now, you look like a real psycho. Lewis was very worried about his friend's reputation. As soon as Liam got out of the car, a crowd of journalists immediately rushed towards him. I knew from the very first day of filming that our show would be an incredible success, joyfully exclaimed the director. After talking to journalists, the crew of the series Constagram decided to celebrate the end of filming in a nearby restaurant. During the celebration, Liam kept thinking about Martina. He saw her giving her phone number to the director, Charlie Donovan. Could there be something between them? What kind of relationship do they have? "What are you thinking about?" Jennifer asked Liam. He had to lie that he was thinking about an upcoming project. "You're going to be starring in a new TV show soon? Congratulations. And who is directing it?" Jennifer inquired. "I don't know yet. It's all being kept a secret," answered Liam. Jennifer noted to herself that even though Liam was talking to her, he was always thinking about something else. "Can I have your attention, please? We have a visit from the director of Channel New, Christine Dellison. She is also our investor." The director suddenly exclaimed. A young woman approached the table with a slow, confident step. She was a representative of New, a former actress and current businesswoman. Back at home, Martina tiredly plumped down on the bed. "Come to think of it, I get the impression that my mother used to come here. The apartment looks very clean. I told her I could handle it on my own. She's not going to come and clean that house later, is she?" Martine thought to herself. She remembered Liam's shabby pictures. She decided to look for them. "I must have hated him a lot in high school if all the pictures are so messed up," Martina thought as she looked at the tattered photos. "At the time, I was convinced I was being bullied because of Liam. His face alone pissed me off wildly during my school days. But if you think about it, at school Liam just wanted to be friends with me. It wasn't his fault that girls were always falling for him." One day, Liam asked Martina to meet up after school, but the girl turned him down. Martina asked that he never approach her again. She didn't want to socialize with him. Martina accused him of interfering with her studies. As a schoolgirl, I wanted to hide the fact that we knew each other, because already at school he was quite popular, and there were always a lot of people around him. I, on the other hand, just wanted a quiet school life. He just wanted to hang out with me, and I kept pushing him away. If you think about it that way, I was too mean to him. Well, if you think about it, it's his own fault for what happened. He was always going around the school telling everyone that he and I were engaged. That's why my classmates hated me. He's the reason I went through all that hell. And now what? He says he wants to live a normal married life with me like every other couple. The only thing is, we'll have to keep it private. We're definitely going to be husband and wife. And what does all this mean? Aren't we getting married at the whim of our parents? But as expected, understanding Liam proved harder than studying to be a medic. A message arrived on the girl's phone from director Charlie Donovan. He wrote that he wanted to chat with her about the script. "I'll reply to him later. It's not important at the moment. I need to calm down right now and stop getting worked up. It's going to be fine. Things will work out with Liam. It's just worth the effort." I can even pet a dog now, even though I used to be really scared of them. One day it will be the same with Liam. After all, perseverance is a way that never fails. Liam got tired of the noisy company, so he went to the roof of the cafe to enjoy the silence. After a while, Christine Dellison came out onto the roof. "Hey, answer me. What are you doing here? I've been looking all over for you," Christine exclaimed. "And why were you looking for me?" asked Liam. "Why are you being sarcastic? Don't you know I sponsored this show?" Christine had wanted to talk to Liam for a long time, but he'd been completely uncooperative. "I've always thought the more sponsors, the better, as long as they don't shove commercials into every scene," said Liam without taking his eyes off his phone. "I only became a sponsor because of you," Kristen admitted. Once upon a time, Kristen Dellison was known as the goddess of romance series. But at some point, she ended her career and became the director of TV New. Afterward, it was revealed that she was in a relationship with the TV channel's chairman. "Liam, I feel like you hate me," Christine said in a sad voice. She placed her hand next to Liam's thigh. "I have nothing to discuss with you, so I'm going to go." Liam rose from his seat. "You tried to seduce me and now you won't even make eye contact?" Christine was indignant. "I already told you I never tried to seduce you. That time I just fell asleep because I was tired." In an annoyed tone, Liam explained. He wanted to forget about that situation, but Christine reminded him of it again and again. "Oh, fell asleep in that exact atmosphere, situation, and moment?" Christine asked with a smirk. "You know I hadn't slept for days before that. Especially you were the one who insisted on driving me in your car to the house. So stop making up fairy tales," exclaimed Liam. "You made a woman's heart flutter and then pretended it never happened. That's a real crime, and you're the criminal," resented Christine. "So you're saying my place is in prison?" clarified Liam. "Look, stop bickering. Just name your price. How about our chairman's house?" asked Christine. "What the hell are you talking about?" Liam was indignant. He had regretted getting into her car 100 times over once long ago. He'd been in a hurry that day, so he was glad someone had agreed to give him a ride. In the car, Liam felt sick, had a seizure, and lost consciousness for a moment. He could not tell Christine that all this happened because of his illness. After this trip, a scandal broke out, and Liam had to meet with the chairman of New. Although Liam tried to convey to the chairman that he had fallen asleep because he was very tired, he didn't want to listen to him. After a long scandal and proceedings, the chairman promised to turn a blind eye to what had happened. He took Liam's word that it would never happen again. Liam tried not to socialize with Christine because she disgusted him. "Look, why don't you star in our new TV show? I promise we'll pay you well. We got a great synopsis this time. Charlie Donovan himself wrote the script," Christine exclaimed. "By the way, Charlie himself talked about wanting to work with you. In this series, you will play the role of a young vampire, a capable and cynical professor of cardiac surgery. It will be a medical drama with fantasy elements." It seems that this series is going to be a huge failure. I mean, a doctor and a vampire aren't really compatible. I think this show will have low ratings, even though Charlie Donovan is the writer, replied Liam. "That's why this role should be played by you, because your face could pull any show," said Christine. "If Charlie's writing the script for this show, maybe that's why he's getting close to Martina. He just needs medical advice?" Liam guessed. "I'll send you the script in the next few days. Familiarize yourself with it. This series will be an original project of our TV channel," said Christine, and also got up from the bench. She decided to go back to the bar. "It pisses me off that this director is talking to Martina." Annoyed, Liam thought, and immediately felt dizzy. Lewis noticed his buddy's condition, so he was able to pick him up. When Liam opened his eyes, he realized he was back in the hospital. Next to his bed, he saw a worried Martina. "Liam, how are you? Do you know how worried I've been?" Martina asked. Her eyes were full of tears. "I thought my heart would stop when I heard you were taken to the emergency room. I was waiting for you to regain consciousness." Martina gently cupped her hands around Liam's face. Afterward, the girl leaned over Liam and kissed him on the lips. "I think he's all right. The fact that he's mumbling and moving his hands around is more because he's having some kind of dream," explained Martina to Lewis. Hearing the girl's words, Liam opened his eyes. "See, he's already come to his senses. You don't have to worry about him. Go home. We'll take care of him." Damn, it was a dream after all, and it felt so real, like everything was happening in reality. "I must be going crazy," mumbled Liam. "You don't have to worry about that. There's nothing wrong with you. It's normal to have dreams while waking up after a seizure. On the contrary, it indicates that you're on the mend." In a tired voice, Martina explained, "Although, who knows, maybe it wasn't a dream at all," said Martina and ran out the door of the room. "Martina, what do you mean by that?" shouted Liam. A few hours ago, Martina had gotten a call from an agitated Lewis, telling her that Liam had passed out and hit his head. "Get him to the hospital quickly! I'll be right there!" shouted Martina into the phone and ran to get ready. When the girl entered Liam's room, he was waving his arms from side to side and mooing something unintelligibly. Then he started mumbling that Martina was his first love. He kept stretching his lips as if he wanted to kiss someone. And why was he mumbling these things? Maybe he has me confused with someone else? I can't be his first love. Martina thought to herself fearfully. The next day, Martina decided to meet with the director after all and answer all his medical questions. "What happened? Did you get up too early? You look very tired. I was trying to find a time when you are most free," said the director to the girl. Martina answered him that she had an emergency call during the night, so she didn't sleep well. "By the way, how is your leg? It hasn't healed yet, so you should take care of it and try not to strain it." Martina decided to change the topic of conversation. She couldn't admit to the director that she had been up all night because she had been thinking about Liam. "My leg was still sore last night, but it got up much better this morning. I must have been so excited about my upcoming meeting with you that I was magically healed," replied the director. "Martina, pull yourself together. This man has made an official application to the hospital to make this meeting happen. I can't be so irresponsible as to refuse just because I'm annoyed by the situation." Martina began to talk herself into it. "And what are those folders lying on your desk? Is that your script?" the girl asked the director. She tried to portray interest in his work. "Would you like to read it? We haven't chosen an actor for the lead role yet, but we are considering Liam Sushin. We recently sent him the script, but haven't heard back yet," the director admitted. "Dr. Sonneberg, haven't we met you before? Your face looks familiar to me," unexpectedly the director said. The girl didn't remember ever seeing him before. The director leaned over the table and scrutinized the girl. Suddenly some noise was heard in the corridor. An annoyed Liam walked into the room. "I'm here looking for my GP who didn't show up for rounds. Turns out Dr. Sonneberg was detained by the director Donovan. I'd like to hear your explanation," grumbled Liam. "Liam, I didn't expect to see you here. Are you sick?" asked the director. "No, just a little overworked," answered Liam. "If you're overworked, you should get a good rest after filming," said the director. He could see that Liam was very tense and angry. "What's your business here, Director Donovan? What are you discussing with my attending doctor?" asked Liam. "Sorry, Liam, but you seem to be making too much noise in here," noted Martina. Through the room's transparent windows, it was obvious that Liam's groupies wanted to break into the room. "Don't mind them, they'll calm down soon enough," replied Liam to the girl. "Director Donovan, let's end our conversation for today," said Martina, hitting her fist on the table irritably. "Liam, I'm coming to see you on my evening rounds, so there's no need to walk around the hospital. We don't want to disturb the other patients with all this noise, do we? I'm in surgery right now, so I'll leave you to it." Martina got up from the table and left the room. "By the way, Liam, they say you had a party yesterday to celebrate the successful completion of filming. Did you meet with the director, Christine Dellison? She was supposed to offer you a role in our project," said the director. "I didn't accept her offer. She said this show was about medicine, if I'm not mistaken," replied Liam. "Yes, you're right. We're in the process of finalizing the script and have sent it in for approval, but there have been some problems. And the most important thing is that the script was written for you. I can't even imagine another actor in this role," the director admitted. Liam looked angrily at the director. He knew Charlie Donovan was quite intelligent. He had lived in affluence since he was a child and had always been confident. Charlie Donovan had always annoyed Liam. Now he was starting to socialize with Martina. It was pissing Liam off. Suddenly, Liam had an idea. He started flipping through the script quickly. "Let me think about your proposal. If I understand correctly, you're consulting on all script matters at Sonrim Hospital?" asked Liam. "Yes, I have officially requested the assistance of this hospital. Right now, I'm consulting with Dr. Sonneberg on all matters. The main script is ready. Now we are just making minor edits," narrated the director. "You see, Christine wants to make a comeback in big movies with this project. You don't have to worry. There is no romantic line in this show, so you won't feel awkward." I don't care about Christine at all. I care more about the fact that Martina is the one advising the director. Since she is the consultant, she will be in constant communication with him. Liam thought to himself. Think. I need to make the right decision. I'm not demanding an answer from you right now. You can think for a few days, exclaimed the director. I'll go. I have a headache for some reason. You too, director. Get well. I'll give you the answer through my manager, said Liam and left the room. I'm definitely out of my mind. I so think I'm going through a period of denial. I need to confess to Martina that she is my first love and probably the only woman, thought Liam on the way to his room. I need to stop acting like a child. I need to act like an adult. I need to confess my feelings to Martina. That's the only way I can move on. Shit, what am I even doing? All I've been thinking about lately is her all the time. It's like I'm going crazy. It was a complicated operation, but Martina made it through. Unfortunately, the woman died on the spot. Only her husband was saved. Martine changed her clothes and went out into the hallway. There she saw a woman with a baby. I was told that this couple had a child, Martina thought sadly. A surgeon came out of the operating room and told the woman that the operation had been successful and her son had been saved. He was now in a stable condition. Martina approached the boy and asked him what his name was. The boy said his name and asked where his mom was now. How soon would he be able to see her? Martina had to tell the boy that his mom was in a better place right now, and that she would definitely be watching him for the rest of his life. Martina remembered that around the same age, Liam had also lost his parents. On the day of the wake, her dad got really drunk and sobbed all day. He was Liam's father's best friend. Martina cradled the boy in her arms. She regretted that there was nothing she could do in this situation. As Martina entered the room, she noticed that her patient Liam was extremely irritated about something. He demanded that the IV be removed. It was getting in his way. You need to finish getting all those vitamins. I think it's going to take another 10 minutes. It would be a shame to throw such a good thing away, Martina said in a calm, unemotional voice. The results of your examination show that you are already normal. You should be able to be discharged soon. You still have the medication I prescribed you last time, right? If so, I'll see you at your next routine checkup. Wait, don't go. What happened this morning? You got it all wrong. I'm talking about the nonsense I was talking about in my sleep. Just don't pretend like you didn't hear anything, said Liam. Are you now talking about how I'm your first love and you've been in love with me for a long time? Don't worry. I'm not the type of person who will force things on myself and keep thinking about them, assured Liam Martina. And besides, everything is crystal clear with our relationship. And what is crystal clear to you about our relationship? Liam suddenly became angry. I'm so in love with you that I'm delusional in my sleep about it. And you say it's delusional? Why can't you believe that I could really be in love with you? Oh, how interesting. Could it be that you really like me? Martina asked in a flirtatious tone. Well, something like that, Liam muttered embarrassedly. He hadn't expected himself to admit his feelings to Martina. That was my amazing acting. I thought you wouldn't fall for what I said, but it turned out differently. Liam began to guffaw. And what exactly was your amazing acting? Martina clarified. Well, the words I said the other day. I was just curious to see if you accurately heard my ramblings spoken in your sleep. Thank goodness you didn't take it seriously. Liam lay back on the bed and covered himself with the blanket, turning away from the girl. If this was all just an act, why are you turning your back on me? Can't you look me in the eye? Martina inquired. You mean you decided to call a man who has been in surgery all day and is already falling over from fatigue just to mess with him? If you don't get up now, I'm just going to walk out of here. I've got tons of things to do. Martina walked over to Liam and began to shake him by the shoulder. Suddenly, Liam squeezed her hand tightly and pulled her toward him. You probably haven't eaten yet, am I right? Asked Liam. What do you care? It shouldn't bother you at all, exclaimed the girl. But it's just the opposite. I've been thinking about you all day, and I've been worrying about whether you've eaten, whether you're all right. But are you thinking about me? I've always wondered the answer to that question, said Liam. What are you letting yourself do? What if someone walks in now? Quickly, let me go! Screamed the girl. Her face was crimson red with embarrassment. Suddenly, Liam jerked and yelled loudly. Martina guessed it was all about the IV. Martina removed the IV and asked Liam to lie still for a few more minutes. I never heard your answer. Admit it. Have you been thinking about me today? Asked Liam. No, I wasn't thinking about you. I don't have time for that sort of thing. I've been running around all day doing surgeries. I don't have time for your jokes, said Martina, taking her eyes aside in embarrassment. You have it written all over your face. I can see you've thought about me at least 3 times in one day. I can see right through you. With a proud jerk of his chin, Liam said. He was confident in his words. You're no better yourself. I know your every move ahead of time, Martina said with a dismissive snicker. I see your manner of speaking is still the same as before. You like to talk a bit snide. And by the way, don't accept Charlie Donovan's offer. You're going to say no, aren't you? Asked Liam. In my soul, I've said no 1,000,000 times already, but I'm only acting as a counselor. I'm lucky I don't have the need to go on set. I can't refuse since it's an instruction from the management. Martina replied. But you are the daughter of the hospital director after all. Why should you listen to someone else's orders? Surprised Liam. In this hospital, I'm a regular staff member, not the daughter of the director. If the staff in the hospital finds out who I am to the hospital director, there will definitely be negative repercussions, explained Martina. Louis entered the room and handed Martina a bag of food. Why did you bring me this? Martina wondered. I ordered this for you. I figured you were pretty busy, so you didn't have time to eat. Have a snack here, or I'll have to throw it all away, said Liam to the girl. News number 1. Series star Liam Sahan was spotted in one of the hospitals in our city. Due to the fact that he was wearing hospital clothes, many fans started to worry about his health. Broadcasting from the TV screen was a petite girl. This is the 3rd time this year that we've learned that Liam Sushan has been hospitalized. His manager said that the much-loved actor is perfectly healthy and is just undergoing a medical checkup after finishing filming the series. They say I'm fine, grumbled Liam and turned off the TV. Liam decided to read the script for the new Dr. Vampire series. Still, they love to give series stupid names. But as weird as it sounds, it's Charlie Donovan's own work. I think people will like whatever series he makes. Oh, I don't like the vampire theme. Although this script is more interesting than I expected, it's fast-paced and everything looks pretty realistic. By the way, the shooting period suits me too. The only thing that annoys me is that there's that director hanging around Martina all the time. And why does that bother me? After she was discharged, she and I never spoke again. Maybe I really should dive into my work and stop thinking about her. Well, why is everything about Martina getting super complicated, even though it didn't cause any problems before? I loved the script, but I don't want to do this show just because of the director and Martina. I don't even want to think about it. Liam's phone received a text message from his Aunt Sophia. She was inviting him to dinner. Sophia asked him to bring Martina along. Liam decided to pick Martina up. He chose the subway as his transportation. And her house is really near the hospital. The only thing is, there's no security here, so after the wedding, we'll have to convince her to move in with me. Liam thought, looking around the high-rise where the girl lived. Liam rang the doorbell. A curly-haired guy opened it. Liam remembered seeing him at the hospital before. And what's this kid doing in Martina's apartment? Liam thought irritably. Has the delivery already arrived? How quick? Martina came to the door. She was toweling her damp hair. I'm sorry to come to see you, but your car is obstructing my driveway. Can't you move it? Liam asked in an annoyed voice. Martina asked Hans if he could go back to the room. She would take care of the matter herself. What's going on in there? People began to look out into the hallway. Liam realized that Martina and Hans weren't alone in the apartment. Let's go outside and talk. There are too many people here. They might get in our way. Martina pushed Liam out into the hallway. And why do you have so many people in your house? Did you open a hostel or something? Asked Liam. Why do you care who I bring into my house? Martina answered with a question. Look, Aunt Sophia sent me a text saying that they decided to have a family dinner tonight. She invited us over. I thought I'd come by and pick you up so we can go together. Liam showed the girl a message on his phone. Your aunt apparently forgot to tell me about it, and if I had known, I wouldn't have called my co-workers. We had a free day freed up for the first time in a long time. We wanted to spend time together. In a frustrated voice, Martina said, That's okay. If you didn't know about it, I'm going alone. Liam could see that Martina was upset. He realized that the girl really didn't know anything about the upcoming dinner. Damn, it took me so long to get here on the subway. Wasted so much time. Liam thought to himself wistfully. Okay, wait for me for a bit. I'll pack up and we'll go, Martina said in a tired voice. But you've got company. It's okay. It's my own fault for not warning you about my visit, replied Liam to the girl. You said yourself that your aunt invited me. Grab your car keys and head down to the parking lot. You shouldn't be standing here. It's too hot. Martina handed Liam the keys to the car he had recently given her. When I gave her the car, she pretended she didn't want it. But now she's even put a keychain on the keys. It looks like one of those cheap toys they pull out of arcades. Thought Liam, eyeing the toy bunny. Wait, did we get it right? Was that famous actor Liam Suchin? Asked the girl Hans as she came back into the room. No, that's my neighbor who looks a bit like him. Waving her hands, exclaimed the girl. Excuse me, but I have to leave. My friend's mom called me out of the blue. I owe her a lot, so I can't refuse. Embarrassed, lowering her eyes to the floor, Martina said, But maybe you can go tomorrow? Tomorrow is a day off, too, reminded Hans. Enough talk. It's useless. You have to prepare for the exams on your own. I have to go to a place tomorrow, so don't you dare even call me, Martina said in an angry tone. We obey. Dimming their eyes to the floor, the interns said in chorus, I'm ready to go now. I hope you didn't have to wait long for me, said Martina, walking over to the car. Liam looked at the girl carefully. It was obvious that she had dressed in a hurry. You haven't even dried your hair. You'll catch a cold if you walk around with a wet head, even though it's summer, said Liam, touching a damp strand of the girl's hair. That's the kind of thing you'll be saying to your soap opera chicks. Martina muttered and pressed down on the gas pedal. And you're not to be fooled, Liam said with a smirk. I think the talk at dinner tonight will be about picking a wedding date. It's unlikely my aunt would invite us together for nothing. What do you think about having the wedding on the 7th of next month? I've been told that's the perfect date for a marriage ceremony, said Sophia. How does the date affect the wedding? It will be private anyway. No one will know about it, said Liam to his aunt. But I don't want the wedding to be private. Why does it have to be held in secret from everyone? Liam, are you worried that your fee will go down after you say you're married? Sophia wondered. I'm not worried about my fee at all. You know that if we announce our wedding, Martina will get in trouble. Journalists will be all over her. I don't want her to be under so much stress because of me, replied Liam. We've decided to keep our marriage a secret until Martina gets her doctorate. I'm of that opinion, too. I don't want a lavish wedding. I'm sure my parents will understand me, Martina said with a smile. All right. Since you've already made up your mind, there's nothing you can do about it. But promise me that once Martina becomes a professor, you'll have a proper marriage ceremony, Sophia asked. We'll stay here a little longer. I want to wait for my uncle to come home from work. We'll go upstairs. We'll be more comfortable that way, said Liam, rising from his seat. Liam took Martina's hand and led her to the second floor. I don't want to go to the second floor with you, Martina muttered. Why? Are you afraid I'll eat you there? Asked Liam to the girl. I'd rather stay downstairs with your aunt, replied a blushing Martina. Suddenly, Liam fell on top of the girl. Well, why now? Martina exclaimed fearfully. She had promised Liam that none of his relatives would know about his illness. Martina pulled Liam into one of the rooms. The girl pulled Liam to the bed and plopped him on the bed. An exhausted Martina lay down next to Liam. How dare you sleep so peacefully when I'm suffering? Do you think it was easy for me to drag from you? I realize you're not doing it on purpose, of course, but still. And if I suddenly find out you're faking it, I'll kill you. Martina muttered. How tired I've been these past few days. I need to lie with my eyes closed, at least for a little while. When Liam opened his eyes, he saw Martina sleeping in front of him. Is this really a dream again? I guess I'm only going to have dreams like this from now on. Even though she doesn't seduce me like she did in that dream, I still like it, Liam thought to himself. Liam put his arms around the girl and rested his cheek against her forehead. Is this really a dream? Everything seems a little too real. But if it were real, Martina wouldn't be lying next to me so defenselessly, mumbled Liam. Liam decided to seize the moment and kiss the girl on the lips. When Martina opened her eyes, she saw Liam pulling his lips to hers. It's only a dream, so I can do whatever I want. Liam thought and pulled Martina to him. He kissed the girl on the lips. Hey, stop! Martina exclaimed. You can't do that. I didn't consent to this. And don't pretend like you're asleep. I saw that you were already awake. Outraged Martina. Liam pretended to pass out again. No, that won't do. I'm going home, Martina exclaimed indignantly. Looking at her watch, the girl realized that she had slept for hours. She hurried to the exit. Hey, where are you going? Asked Liam. Why do you care? I have things to do, replied the girl. If you're leaving because of my actions, then I'm sorry. I thought it was a dream, said a blushing Liam. Good, I believe you. Now let me pass. I have to go to another town for surfing right away, said Martina. Martina liked to surf when she was under a lot of stress. It helped her sort out her thoughts and emotions. In the locker room, Martina noticed that her lips were a little swollen. The girl realized that it was all because she had made out with Liam last night. There I go. I've brought that up again. I need to get over it as soon as possible. That kiss will keep me up for a long time to come, Martine exclaimed and clutched her head in despair. That night his gaze was so sensitive. No, it wasn't that at all, for he's a real actor. Yes, it's all his acting skills' fault. The girl picked up her longboard and headed for the ocean. I totally don't understand you. Did you happen to overheat in the sun? Why do you need to go to the ocean? Lewis wondered. When a man is exhausted, he always wants to look at the waves or the mountains. Sometimes he may drop by the hospital to check his health. For the moment, I want to enjoy my vacation, replied Liam. And we didn't get to talk to someone about something yesterday, Liam said with a sly grin. Yesterday's kiss had been bothering him, too. He wanted to see it through.